Mercy, slash I do buckaroos. How the heck are you? Think something's gonna be easy. Anyways, I digress. How the heck are you? I've had a week. I haven't had anything to drink all week, so I thought I'd go big with you. I've got to the next evolution barley wine aged in toasted oak barrels. Beer we're talking about from Banter Brewing. This one comes in at 11%. Look at that. Oh, that's gonna be gorgeous. There we go. Sláinte. I had that just a little colder than it needs to be. So I'm going to set it down and let it warm a touch. I'll be right back. All right, bear with me, folks. Trying out Studio C, if you will. Anyways, I digress. So what am I going to pour to drink? I've got this Hochatown right here. It's a small batch select. Well, I thought it was cask. It's only 104. So I'm going to change my whiskey here. So I've got the Bourbon Rubenesque single barrel cask from Wood Hat, barrel number 760. This was a Hy-Vee store pick out of New Florence, Missouri. We're going to pour some neat here. Let's pour 2 ounces in there. All right, let me show you that bottle one more time before I set it down. Got a spot there that's giving me some shade. Figure out where it's coming from. Anyways, let's pick this back up. Oh, mercy. Now, one more day to go at work before I get too off, but I don't have to go in until later tomorrow, so I figured out what the hell. Like I said, I haven't had anything since Tuesday. Tuesday is the last time I'd had any alcohol of any kind. Sláinte. Damn, this stuff is good. Oh, that's nice. Big and oaky. It's a very bold whiskey. Bourbon, I should say. It's a very bold bourbon. Pairing well with my next evolution, a barrel aged barley wine, clocking in at 11%. I believe it says. Let me make sure. Aged in toasted oak barrels. 11%. Yes, indeedy. Oh, good golly, that is good. The stuff is just insanely good. It really is. Oh my goodness. It is a little sweet, as most barley wines are. That's why most barley wines, well, in my opinion, all barley wines are better barrel aged in some sort. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bourbon barrel or a whiskey barrel. It could be just oak, but it needs something to help clean up that sweetness. Oh, I just realized I forgot to do something. Bear with me a second. There we go. Now we're back in business. All right, then. Ready to have a nice Sunday, I hope. We had a strange one here. It kind of rained early, then it quit. Looks like it might rain on us again. It did bring the temperature down. That's nice. It has been a strange month weather-wise. Feel like we've gotten more rain than we typically do in August, or I mean July. Already looking forward to more rain than we typically get in July. Oh, mercy. Oh, man. Yeah, we could talk about aromas and flavors. I like to talk about the other things. So what I really like about this whiskey is again the texture, the mouthfeel, the viscosity. It just feels just velvety smooth. It's just a pleasure to drink. Doesn't feel thin, doesn't feel too chewy. It's just right, man. A little sweet initially. You might feel some brown sugar, some very heavy molasses notes in there. You might even feel some maple. Feel like I just picked out some maple right there. Dark fruit, as it wouldn't be unusual for you to pick out some dark fruit notes as well. Again, I like to tell folks that's really up to you. I mean, you're not going to taste things you don't know, so it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to pick out some date and/or fig notes. But dark cherry, overripe plum are certainly in that spectrum as well. Raisin for sure. And a barley wine shouldn't necessarily give you fruity esters. However, the however is the barrel. The barrel could impart such notes. So again, you might even pick out some raisin notes from that from a barrel aged barley wine. Again, it's going to depend on the barley wine. It's going to depend on the barrel, but it could add those notes, those little touches. Oh man, set that down a second. So picking up this, let me show you the bottle of this whiskey again. Um, New Florence, that's near Washington, Missouri, which, well, it's not all that far out of St. Louis, I suppose. Bourbon Reuben has single barrel cask strength. That's 61.7. Show that to you. We grew the corn, made the whiskey, aged it in a barrel for years to let the magic happen. And we put it into this bottle for you. No dilution with water, no chill filtering, no additions. Consequently, you may see some tasty particles settling out. Shake to rejuvenate. There you go. Show you that if you'd like to read it for yourself. Put some jazz on, some classic jazz on in the background if you can hear it. I was in the mood, man. I was in the mood for some jazz, trying to mellow things. I'm tired, man. It's been a long week for me. Got one more day in my week, but I don't go until later tomorrow. So I thought I'd have the first alcohol of the week, even though today is a new week. But anyway, haven't anything since last Tuesday. So I thought I'd have just a little to help, get everything back to Zen. Oh, pick up this barley wine again here. Uh, it's the first time I've used this studio in a while. I'm gonna have to adjust to figure out some lighting issues. It seems like it keeps changing on me. Anyway, I didn't have time to really figure it out. I need some light over here, but I don't know if this one's gonna work because I get this shaded area over here that I can't figure out. Sometimes it comes brighter, then it goes. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm not sure what's going on there. Brightens up and then it dims again. I don't know if it's that bulb going out or what, but it keeps coming in and out on me. Maybe I'm blocking it. I don't know. Can't figure out what the hell's going on with that light. We'll have to work on it for the next video, but I didn't have time. Yeah, that lighting is weird. I can't figure out what the hell it's doing. Keeps popping in and out. It's too dark in this corner. I'm gonna turn that light on to get that hell out of the other one. Oh, mercy. Anyways, I digress. This barley wine is spectacular. Let me show you that can one more time. Banter Brewing. I'm going to step off camera just a second again, see if I can make some adjustments because it's driving me fucking crazy. I don't know, the bulb's going out, but it kept flashing back and forth on me. Didn't tell the screen. Oh yeah, that's much better. There we go. There we go. It was driving me batshit crazy, man. I'm tired, and when I'm tired, my OCD really flares out. And Tourette starts to go, and I get twitchy. Anyways, that's much better. Should have done that from the start. Just wasn't thinking. I thought I knew I was going to need some light, so I thought that light would work better. But that's turned the light on across the room seemed to help the most. I'm not sure why, but nevertheless, nevertheless, we persevere. Anyway, uh, fuck me. Uh, Boy, I do like this beer. Though, I got to tell you, I do love a barley wine. Um, Boy, this one, there's something really special about this one. And again, anything in a barrel. For me, yeah, all barley wines are barrel aged of some sort. And the problem with them is they typically have too much lingering sweetness. And when you have that barrel age, it really helps clean that up. You get those nice light oak notes in the finish that really kind of brings those sugars back in a little bit. So, anyways, launch. Oh yeah, a lot of these bush berries. I'm not getting that weird shade I was getting before. Notice St. Patrick's the decorations behind you. They stay up year round here. Got a few more things I want to put on the wall here. I've got my back in May on my birthday. I went to see Saxon and Uriah Heep. So I did the meet and greet package. I've got pictures of both bands I want to get framed and stick in this empty space here. So they'll be in the studio. the other part of my living room, but nevertheless, yeah. For all intents and purposes, it's our studio, man. So I've got Studio A, which is my bar in the garage. Got my little area out there. Got Studio B, which is right in front of my television set where I put the backdrop. And I got Studio C right here. And then Studio D is my little spot in the dining room. Well, I don't know. Actually, I was using that area over there, which was Studio C. So going back and forth, I guess. Anyway, anyway, I digress. Oh, mercy. Feel like it's starting to work already. I'm feeling better already. Feeling better already, man. It's been a week, man. It's only a 5 day stretch, but feels all. Gonna get through one more, but it'll be a piece of cake. Gonna take a couple off, relax. Oh man, this whiskey is insane, man. I think we're supposed to do and a chaser show sometime this week, a Wednesday usually, with Jersey Johnny and the beer with the beer Samurai, I should say. And I wanted to do cast strength whiskey with a barrel aged beer, but they want to do tequila. Well, I don't keep tequila on hand, so now I got to go buy some fucking tequila and then find a beer to go with it. I hate when I can't work with the shit I've got. So I go find us some tequila, which I'm not a fan of tequila to start with. Tequila. I was hoping we just stick to some bourbon. Anyway, fucking tequila. Oh, man, this beer is good. It really is. I'm going to pour a little more in here as I work through my whiskey. I like to just pour a little bit of this beer at a time. I've got a pint here of this barley wine. I don't want to pour a full pint in. It's better if you just pour a little bit at a time. Get a snifter or a Belgian, whichever you prefer. Either will work. Just let it rest for a little bit. Let it get happy, happy. Uh, oh yeah, and that's nice. Like I said, it is rather sweet initially, and I remember noticing that before when I had it, because I remember thinking it wasn't sweet, but it may be the pairing with the barley wine really bringing out those sugars. Because I'm picking up a lot of things. Again, a lot of molasses, a lot of brown sugar. Taking like a very dark brown sugar. You get those molasses notes. Little hint of maple in there as well. And again, dark fruit is really up to you. But I'll tell you what I'm picking out. Again, some dark cherry, little raisin, maybe some very overripe plum as well. And again, although a beer like this wouldn't typically impart fruity esters because it was aged in a barrel, it could pick up notes from that as well. So I feel like I'm picking up some raisin as well through the beer. But for the most part, again, it's just big and malty. Feel like I'm getting some brown sugar as well because you feel like you get just a little bit of those molasses notes going on. Pour the rest of that beer in there. I'll pour myself just a little more whiskey. Pour the right one, though. So I poured 2 ounces exactly. Let me put 1 more ounce in there to balance the rest of that barley wine, if you will. As always, if you got any questions or comments, put it up on the screen. I'll answer almost anything, unless you're being a complete asshat. Tell me what you're drinking. We can have that discussion as well. Oh, mercy. Seventh Son, Bose Alice. Let me some classic jazz. Ah, some Lee Morgan, some Tina Brooks, Miles Davis, the obvious answer there, John Coltrane, but I really love Tina Brooks. But you never can go wrong with some Coltrane either. Miles Davis, Maynard Ferguson, more on the big band side, but there are some jazz influences as well. Maynard Ferguson, man, known for hitting those high notes. I had the pleasure of seeing him 3 times before he passed away. The first time I was about 14 years old at Disneyland, and I had no intention of listening to him because that's not the music I was interested in at the time. As my friend and I were passing by, I heard the music and I was intrigued. At some point, he just left me and kept walking because man. I think it was his version of no, I think it was. I was gonna say I think it was Birdland, but no, I actually think it was Caravan that I first heard. And I went, holy! And then several years later, here in Springfield at Juanita K, I took my wife to see him. She wasn't completely enthralled. I don't think she minded the show too much. Instrumental jazz really wasn't her thing, but it was a nice evening. And then a few years after that, I took my son, who was about 5 at the time, to a smaller club here in town, Nathan P. Murphy's, where he was playing with his new band, Big Bop Nouveau. And my 5-year-old sit with his eyes glued to the stage for an hour and a half listening to instrumental jazz. And I knew at the time, oh, damn, we've got something here. That boy loved this music, man. As he got older, he gravitated more towards the rock side, classic rock especially, but he liked a lot of different types of music. And he understood that maybe something might not be totally in your wheelhouse, but if you get a chance to see him live, go. I'd won tickets to see the Moody Blues, and quite frankly, he just really didn't want to go. He listened to some stuff, and it didn't really do much for him. But I kind of talked him into go ahead and going with me because I really didn't want to take anybody else. And he said after the show, it's one of the best shows he'd ever seen. It was amazing. He just didn't, he'd heard some songs they didn't really resonate with him until he saw them live. Went, okay, I get it now. But even though they were getting older, Justin Hayward and John Lodge still sounded amazing. I think that's what caught him. Excuse me, is how tight the band was, how everything just came together. And I don't think he realized by just listening to a couple of songs how complex they were. And again, until he saw them live, so okay, oh, I get it now. Oh, pick up this whiskey again. The last show we saw together before we lost him was again here in town at the O'Reilly Center, and they played in this order: Ted Nugent, Styx, and REO Speedwagon. That Ted Nugent was Ted Nugent. You know what I mean? It's kind of a one-trick pony, but some of the songs are pretty good trick. But why it worked is Derek St. Holmes was with the band at this point. And St. Holmes is a great musician and a whole lot better singer than Ted Nugent. So they went back to do some of those old classics that when Nugent plays as a trio, he leaves out because he can't hit those notes, man. And then again, Nugent's a bit of a one-trick pony, but there are a few songs. Okay, I know the man's an ass hat, but some of the songs are I like a couple of tunes. Sticks was amazing. In fact, Sticks had so much energy. REO Speedwagon was good, they really were, but they couldn't match the energy that Sticks put out before. It really should have been reversed. Because as much as I like REO Speedwagon and some of the songs, they just couldn't match the energy of Sticks. And I got to a couple blues shows since since then, but I hadn't really been to a big rock show since I lost Seamus. So we lost Seamus. Um, so that was the big one this year was going to Uriah Heep and Saxon, and quite frankly, I only went because I like both bands, but neither one were in my top five. You know, they weren't necessarily favorites, but I like both bands. I remembered a few songs, not just the radio friendly songs, because I always delved a little deeper. But they were played directly on my birthday, right on my birthday. Kind of felt like a sign because I know it was they were bands that Seamus would want to see. So I went ahead and got ticket. I went by myself because I wanted to go by myself. I know a lot of people think that's odd, but I really wanted to go by myself for this one. And I didn't drink anything before the show because I had the meet and greet. And I didn't want to be under the influence of anything before that meet and greet. And then after the meet and greet, there was a little bit of time while folks were standing in line at the concession stands to grab a beer and standing in long lines. There's a little Irish pub, and I say Irish lately because there's nothing really Irish about the place except the name, Dublin's Pass. So, but they're kind of connected. So I just went down the hallway, went into Dublin's Pass, had two beers before Saxon played, and I listened to Saxon. Saxon was amazing, by the way. Lead vocals, Biff Byford was just amazing. I mean, you wouldn't realize. I mean, this band did not lose a step. I will tell you that because I expected both bands to be good, right? But I know they're older, right? So I expect it to be a good show. They're going to put their heart into it, but I got to be honest with you, both bands were just beyond amazing. I will be honest, so Saxon resonated more with me, but Uriah Heep was a damn fine act too. I mean, the songs were great. Stealing was perfect. Easy living. I mean, they didn't. Everything was. Even their new tunes were fine. But both bands were exceptionally tight. Bobby Timmons in the background. Let me finish up my whiskey here as I get ready to wrap this up because I've been talking for a long time. So, anyways, I digress, man. I am Tom, the whiskey whisperer, whiskey evangelist. Once I got my lighting right, just get a little frustrated with that damn lighting. Whiskey, prolific whiskey, drinker, purveyor, wisdom, man. But I need to remember for future that light and that light, not this one. That one doesn't work. But remember to turn those two lights on. For this particular studio, maybe a Studio C1 and a Studio C2 across it, or one and two, depending on how my wife's got stuff configured. Anyways, Anyway, I digress. Let me wrap this up. I'm also Tom the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific drinker, purveyor, wisdom man. All around good guy, cilantro.